Hello everyone, welcome back to JDCodebase. This is the web development series. Today topic is the reference and the performance optimization in the React. Now I want to say something honestly. When I first saw words like useMemo, useCallback, React.memo, I also felt confused. But trust me, these are not hard, they only look hard because of their names. In this video, I will explain everything in the most simple way possible. And by the end of this video, you will not be scared of these hooks anymore. Also, complete PPT are available in the description. So let's start. First, we will understand the use reference in the React and how it works. Then we will understand what performance optimization means. Then we will understand useMemo, useCallback, React.memo, and I will also tell you when to use them and when not to use them. Now let's start why performance optimization. In React, whenever state change, the component re-renders. And re-render means React runs the function again, updates the UI again. That is normal, but sometimes component re-render even when they do not need to. If your app is small, no problem, no issue with that. But if your app is big with many components, unnecessary re-renders can make it slow. So performance optimization means stop React from doing extra work. But remember one important thing. Do not optimize everything. First build your app. If it becomes slow, then optimize it. So first is the use reference. Use reference is a hook. It store a value, but when that value change, React does not re-render. And that is the most important point. Use reference store the value quietly. And let's move to VS Code and see a simple example of this, how it works. So this is a basic React app, and let's start with the const input reference equal to use reference, and initial value here is the I'm giving null. Now a use reference gives an object, and inside that object there is something called the current. Means we can use input dot reference dot current, and right now it is null. And now let's write the here inside the div, the JSX part. Let me write here input is the text, and okay, and here reference, it is the input reference, and also a button that shows the focus input. On click, call this arrow function, and it says input reference dot current dot focus. Now here when I click the button, we are directly focusing this input field. Means reference here is the input reference, and we are directly touching the DOM basically, and React is not re-rendering anything. That is the main use of use reference. Now let's see here when this let me show you a let me write a placeholder text and a class name for your border. Let's see. So this is a basically a input field, and this focus input is a button. When I click on this focus input, it this input is the focus automatically. I'm not touch it yet. Let's see. I refresh the page, focus input, and this is the means how I touch the DOM without interactive. So let me show you the difference between the use state and the use reference. Yes. So let me write here simple things that says count reference, a counter basically. Use reference is the initial value is 0. Okay, and here also initialize a state count, set count equal to use count use state with the value 0. So a normal counter variable I just declare here state declare here with the value 0, and here by using the use reference by using the use state. So both are showing here. Now let me remove this. So first let me show you a paragraph that show the value of count reference. Sorry, I have to write into the curly braces. Here count reference dot current. It show the current value of this count reference, and it show here also G means 0. Now let's make a button and increase reference count and declare a const handle click that says the count reference dot current value plus plus, and also console.log this count reference dot current, and here let's say on click all this function handle click. So here I have just a normal paragraph and a button. Inside this button I just refer this handle click function, and inside this I am just updating the value count reference dot current value plus plus, increment this value 0 1 2 3 and those as a normal, and console.log this value. So let's see in this, open the developer this console, increase reference count, I get 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, means perfectly fine. It's there is no issue with that. Now let's see with the use state. But if you notice something, I am increasing the count, I'm 1 up to 17, but it says 0 value here, means it does not update the UI. Now let's come to the a paragraph that show the count value, this use state count value, and one more button, and this button says increase count, and inside this on click, not on click, and call this set count plus 1. So a normal counter variable means increase the count variable by using the use state. Now let's see. I refresh the page, both are initially 0. I increase the count. UI is updating 1 2 3 up to the 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. Okay, no issue with that. Also you can with it means now let's click on this increase the reference count. In the console all the values updating up to the 11. I am click 12 13 14 15, but in the UI it is not updating. But when I click on this increase count, the UI is update, means the page is re-rendered and component is re-rendered, and the updated value comes here on the screen with the this reference count. So here value change in the memory. When I click the input reference button, the value changes in the memory, but UI does not update. Why? Because use reference does not re-render the page, re-render the component. But when I click the increase state, UI update, and because use state triggered the re-render. This is the main difference between them. Use state re-render the page, but use reference do not re-render the page. So next come to the yes, cause the re-render used for the UI update, and use reference does not cause the re-render used for the storing value. Now let's come to the useMemo. useMemo, this is also very simple way. If I say useMemo is used to remember a calculated value. it is like a caching, and if nothing change, React will reuse the old result. If something change, then it recalculate. So let me write here. So let me first make it blank. So inside this function, let's declare the two values: number, set number. And here initial value is the useState 0, and here const other set other, and also here useState initial value is the 0, and normal two state variables. So now let's create a function that says const slow function equal to, let's take a value called num, and inside this I just console this log running a slow function. No issue with that, just a console.log. And after this, start for loop at I equal to 0, I smaller than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I plus plus. A large value, means this function runs up to the a large value, and after that return num multiply 2. Just return. So here this function runs. Then inside this, just a console.log, a for loop. Here I'm nothing change, just this for loop runs every time, means whenever this function calls, but it does not console anything or change the UI anything. And in last, I am just returning a num cross 2, means double the value. Like if I give the value 20, then it's a 40. Now start with the const result equal to slow function, and it says number. Now even if I change, the other slow function runs again, means wait a second. Now inside the JSX part, just write here a paragraph that shows the value of number, and the value of other value, and third one is the result. Here it is other, and here it is the result. And also change here other, and here is the result. So let's make the two buttons, button that's increase the number, and here on click call an arrow function that says set number plus 1, just a normal counter. And second one is for the other. Okay, and here I have to change to other, set other. So here if you see, I will explain again. I just declared the two states, number and other. Their initial values are 0. I am declared by using the useState. And inside the JSX part, I am just writing showing the value of number, other, and result, and two buttons of increment the both the values, means one for the number, one for the other variables. And I declare a function here, slow function, that takes a value num, and inside this console.log for the verify whether it is running or not. And one is a for loop that is run up to the millions of times, and it returns a single variable num, means double the num. So and it runs whenever the result change. So let's see here. Let me refresh the page. it's a slow running a slow function. Increase the function, it runs. Increase the other function, it again runs running a slow function. Why? I don't know. So see, uh, focus on here. Numbers other and result, both three are with threes are 0. Increase the number, here the number value is 1, result value is 2. Number is 2, result is 4. Okay, no issue with that. Increase the other value is 1. Increase the other 2, other value is 2 again. But here if you see, every time when I click any number, any button, this slow function is running every time. So why I did not want to run this slow function every time. Why I need to run this slow function, this very this large calculation run every time? So for that the use memo come. Just write here, let me write one more time here, const result equal to use memo, and it's take a callback function and also a dependency array. Dependency array runs. Just remember that you use the use effect. Yes, use effect is similar to this in a some way. Let me wait a second. So what happened to this? Okay, yeah, I have to call this function here. Return this and remove this. So here I use the use memo. It runs when the number is changed. Okay, and means like in the use effect, I have a dependency array and it runs when the something is changed. It reload the UI again. Means change the data. And here user memo is similar to that. It only runs when this number is changed or something changed. So like here, refresh the page. First read enter, no issue with that. Running a slow function because number value is 0 and read enter. Increase number is changed, running a slow function, no issue. Increase a function, number, running a slow function, no issue. But now I am clicking the increase other. See, I'm increasing the others value, but now this function is not running. That's why this use memo come. Now slow function will only run when number change, like it because it has a dependency array by using the use memo, and it remembers the result, but it's not run. Now let's come to the third one. Use memo is done. It's take the first parameter as a callback function, and second is dependency array, like as the use effect. When to use the use memo? Use for the expensive calculation. Yes, like here I have to run the for loop up to the millions time. Okay, filtering the large list, storing the big data, means it's for the stock market, very large data, and avoid unnecessary recalculation. For the that you use the use memo. And do not overuse use memo, means you are applying every time use memo. Don't build like that. Next one is the what is use callback. Use callback is a very simple difference is that use memo remember a value, like here use memo remember a number, but use callback remember a function. So let's see a example here. RAFC, so normal this, and let's create a child component here first. Const child, and here I am saying React.memo, and yes, React.memo and use callback both are linked together, means most of the time you use the both in a parallel way. I am passing, means it says console.log child render, and it's take a value handle click a function, basically handle click, and it's also return a JSX. that JSX is the button says click, and on click it's called the handle handle click function. Wait a second, I'm just writing child btn. So a normal component that says that's means take the value as a props handle click function and return a JSX button. So inside this app, the parent component, so let's write here. So here I already write by this app.jsx, and here I just initialize a count by their initial value is the 0, and this handle click button that I pass in this child component, and it's let me first show you simple. This take a normal handle click function, and it says child button click because in the JSX it says parent and a count value. Where is count? Yes, and a button that increase the parent count is set count +1 with no issue with that, a simple counter button. And I also connect that this child component here, and inside this child component I am passing this handle click function. No issue with that, just a normal flow parent to child component. So let's see here, just refresh this, increase the child rendered, yes, first time, that increase the parent count. Okay, parent count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Every time when I click, the child render again and again, no issue. When I click child button, it's increase the child button, no issue with that. But why I have to increase means why this handle click button again and this child render again and again. For that use the useCallback, and here right okay, I have to pass here a dependency array. Now let's see, increase, I am increase the parent count and it runs and it increase the value of 17 18 19 20. But now child render is the means this message is not printing here. Why? Because I set I cover into the useCallback with the dependency array, because every time this means this child runs whenever this handle click change, means any prop change here, and any parameter change, any property change here, handle click or any count variable if I give here. But here I am not giving any variable, I am not changing any variable. This handle click is the a constant function, I am not changing this. So whenever I click here, increase the parent count, it increase 31 32 33, but this child render only one time, only single time. But when I click child button and this child button click with no issue. But if I pass here count and inside this child component pass the value of count, so now every time see here, every time this count variable is changed 1 2 3 4 5, now this child render. Why? Because this count variable is every time change here in this parent component, that's why this is changed here. This child component re-render again and again. So child things prop change, and so it re-render with the useCallback function stays same in the initial time. But when I apply the useCallback, so it says the means it now follow the dependency array. And next is the React.memo wrap shape component. Like here I just wrap a whole component here, and if prop do not change, component does not re-render. Like here I pass it to one is the function handle click, second is the count. Handle click is the constant, it never change in the parent component, and this count variable is the change when I click on this increase parent count. If props do not change, component does not re-render. If and very useful for the big components. Now, why use callback? Function recreated every render. Well, yes, if I already see here, and child component re-render every time. Now, with use callback, function reference stays the same and prevent the unnecessary re-render. We already see here. I am increasing the parent count, and without use callback, it's change every time with the handle click function only. And what is React.memo? Higher order component and memorize the entire component, means prevent the re-render until the props do not change. And syntax here is the this one, and it means normal components it take. And when to use the React.memo for the large UI component and when the props are really changed. Now let's come to the comparison. useMemo, useCallback, and React.memo. useMemo is for the remember a value. useCallback for the remembering a function, and React.memo is for the component. Like here, useCallback takes a callback function. React.memo takes a whole component, and use this memo takes a single variable like I pass the number in a dependency array. Now some best practices: do not use these everywhere. Means if your app is small, a normal like a task manager or blog post, do not use for the if your app is small, you do not need them. Use them only when you are building something very large project, very that has many components. If you use unnecessary re-render or performance problems, otherwise keep the code simple. Next, let's what is it? Today we summarize the let's summarize the today we learn use reference, store value without re-render, difference between the use reference and the use state, use memory, remember the calculated value, and use callback, remember the functions. React.memo prevent the unnecessary component re-renders. Now this topic should feel scary anymore, and I know this topic feels difficult in the beginning. If you understand even 60 to 70% of this video, that is very good progress. React becomes powerful when you understand these small things deeply. Practice the example, break the code, change things, learn by doing, and complete PPT available in the description. If this video helped you, like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to JDCodebase. Keep learning, keep building.